Why, hello
Hi.
there.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while since I could say I wasn't addicted.
I was saying
Sorry.
it's been a long time since I met you.
What's that one?
I don't even know now.
Jason, curious. Anyone else who happens to see the start of this? Hello.
Hi. Yeah.
Good to see you. It's been about uno de monto. About that.
It's been
before Christmas.
Carl threw us off for a long time.
Carl threw us way off.
Yeah.
We don't. Oh, hey, Bracken. We don't have Carl.
No.
But we have Jinjee.
Yeah. We got Jinjee new cat bed.
He's sleeping in his little cat bed. Hello, Trizzle. Hello, everybody. You freaking awesome people.
Should we explain the misadventures of Carl
Hi,
and
Jinjee.
why he's not entirely the reason. We can't blame it all on the cat.
No,
but
we can't.
We can blame that being the trigger for us being not streaming, and then we just kind of got lazy. Not so much lazy, but we were doing stuff.
Let's begin the tale.
We'll begin the tale.
So the tale
That was the
begins
abstract.
with, Jinjee. I'm just kidding. So, of course, you should share the misadventures of Coral. Your hair's looking great.
Oh, thank you.
That's from Bracken, not even Mr. Levity. No, butthead. Okay, I googled Google.
He googled.
I typed Google
comma,
into the address bar, but for some reason, I put a comma instead of a period,
you put comma,
so it
CA.
searched it.
Yeah.
Just come on now, Trizzle. Come on, Trizzle. How dare you? So where did it start? Probably with Carl's.
Yeah. So Carl hadn't showed up in like 2 days, and at first we were kind of like, whatever. Like sometimes he fucks off like this. But then he showed up, and he had a gash on his face, and he was like limping, and his leg was clearly fucked up. And so
like
then
blood.
Yeah.
There was blood.
Like, and like if you went to go like try to put weight on it, like he would shake it like it was in a lot of pain. So we in that moment we made like an effort to try to capture him so we could take him to the vet. But good luck capturing a fucking wildcat. It didn't happen.
No.
All we did was kind of like scare him off and cause him like more trauma on top of
he was real freaked
the injuries he had.
And we immediately thought, Trizzle,
that he had gotten in some sort of fight with a coyote.
Yeah, because there's a lot of coyotes. Yeah. We'll get to that part of the story too.
Yeah. So then we reached out to our neighbor whose shed he lives in. And
the shed.
Yeah, he was like, well, if he had gotten into a fight with a coyote, he'd probably be dead. What probably happened is maybe he got nicked by a car, because I know that somebody stopped and like knocked on my door and then like drove away. Or he fell through the roof of the shed because there's now a big hole in the shed. He like sleeps in the ceiling, and he has like plywood underneath like the rafters, kind of like closing it in. But like there's like fucking holes in the roof, so the snow comes in, it gets wet, and it's like rotting. So he like, you can tell something fell through where it's like wet and like kind of like rotting. So we think as well that Fat Carl fell through the roof of the shed. And
there's 3 holes in
the claw dog as an egg.
And so this also caused us to delay our trip to Moose Jaw for Christmas. Because we like stuck around trying to like find him and like feed him as much as possible, because we knew he was scared to us, but we didn't want to like make him walk all the way over here.
Well, I was saying too, the last time we streamed, I had to hey bars, we had to readjust the arm the camera is on, because we took it to the shed and we stuck a phone in it and put it up through the hole in the roof
to see if he was
and
up
we
there.
did like a 360
because we hadn't seen him in a while, and we were like getting concerned, and like honestly I was crying all the fucking time about this cat. So much, like I shed so many tears so many tears over Carl, and that's kind of initially why we didn't stream, is because like I was mildly inconsolable.
That's
about
rude.
The cat.
I never really thought about that. Him falling
Yeah.
through the roof is our fault.
I know. I did think about that.
I
have
thought
about
about if he got caught by a coyote. I was like, well, we made him slow.
Yeah.
But I also didn't take into account that he was living. We had never gone in the shed.
Yeah.
Because it has a propped up piece
Well,
of wood.
it's not our shed.
It's
so,
100 years old, and it's got a straight up lean.
Yeah, it's not our shed, so that's why we hadn't gone in there. And so then we also, like I said, reached out to our neighbor to see if we could put food in there for him so that he could eat in the shed and wouldn't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh
thankfully
yeah,
okay
he was
with
very
that.
nice about it. He was like, "Oh yeah, for sure, go ahead." And so we put enough food in there, and then we left for Christmas, and then we came back, and we'd only been gone, I think, like 2 whole days. And when we had come back, there was evidence of another cat in our yard. And
Yeah.
so then we
We were like,
started
whose paws are
seeing
these?
sightings of another black cat.
So I went outside and I seen
Yeah.
it, and it wasn't the one that I had seen months ago with the
That one's ears had frozen off. This one has like full ears and it has a little like crop of white on its neck.
I was zooming in on my mustache and soul patch for pars. I could start a queen. Cover
So
band.
yeah, we would like put out some food for this cat. It would come by at nighttime. And then one day Evan went to go feed Carl in the shed. And lo and behold, who's in the shed? The fucking black cat.
Yeah.
Which we've named Void, by the way.
Because you can only tell it isn't there
You can
unless
only
its
see the
eyes are
reflections
open.
of its eyes. Yeah.
It doesn't exist. It's a void of existence. Only eyeballs.
Yeah. So we call
And
that one Void.
I scared the shit out of it
Yeah.
when I opened the door, and I was like, "Oh, hi, Void," and it was like, and then it did like a juke, like a left, right, and then it went like past me, and it ran like the Dickens.
Yeah. So we also don't know if Void is a boy or a girl. We're not sure.
Hoping boy.
Yeah, because we don't want there to be kittens.
Yeah, like
That is the last thing we want.
yeah. And so then we didn't know if Carl knew Void was in there.
Yeah.
Because the whole time we were also under the impression, our neighbor told us that there's a black cat at a farmhouse nearby that beats up Carl.
Yeah. But this one showed up over Christmas. But now we have seen they hang out in the rafters of the shed together.
Yes.
But there is a pecking order for food.
Yes. So what happens now is when most of the time when we open the door and make our sounds like Carl, we got hey buddy bye. What happens is
Meow, meow.
Void jumps down onto the ledge.
Sometimes, not always.
Yeah, and then jumps back up.
Yeah.
And then Carl jumps down and comes right to the food. And then Void stays up there until we leave. And then, because Carl can't be eating all of that food.
Oh no.
Like,
maybe.
I mean, we're kind of
We
worried
go
he
there
can't get out.
twice a day.
Well, once it stays warmer for a
Yeah.
bit, because basically, so Carl is doing much better.
Yeah.
He can jump up and down.
But he does seem to have a limp.
He does have a limp indeed. But obviously he can get up and down, and hopefully this is like a first stage domestication where he's like, I'm getting used to never leaving inside of somewhere. Now we just offered him a warm somewhere, and he's like, this is easier. But is there no mobile spay and neuter service thing where you are in the middle of frozen wasteland Canada? We would probably have to drive him half hour at least for something like that. Carl's he could castrate him like a bull because you just do the rubber bands because his nuts are so big. So we went to Moose Juice for Christmas and seen my family and grandma, and it was
Christmas.
as organized chaos as organized chaos can be.
Yeah.
It was we hadn't done that in a while because of COVID and stuff. So it's nice to see the kidlings, all the offspring that my brother and sister are having, and others in the family. But we rushed back because we were worried about our boy. We're worried about our boy with the limp little chicken leg, Carl. And then it went into like Sub-Zero mode.
Yeah.
It becomes the dark side of the moon for like 2 weeks here, where it goes to like...
Well, no, it was weird. There was like some weird Arctic drift shit going on. Because like it was minus 40 and shit. And now it's like +3.
Yeah.
Which this is like not normal.
Yeah, it's definitely
maybe
not normal.
Slightly alarmingly not normal.
That's the sound of forgiveness. Oh, that's the sound of people doing it. Carl, that's what forgiveness sounds like. Screaming in silence. There's supposed to be this like big, what was it, like a slipstream of there's typically like a slipstream of air that kind of goes like right through blocks us from like the Arctic, and apparently it got all out of whack because of climate change. Yeah. I'm sorry, Cass and Chip, I know you live in Texas, but climate change is real. I don't know what your country, Texas, teaches in school.
Yeah, the Gulf jet stream.
But yeah, this Gulf jet stream is not as strong. So these like minus 50 plunges are coming down into the depths. And I mean, personally, I don't really mind. I would rather minus 50 than plus 50 because I can survive it. Whether it be crazy night now. It's -3 overnight and 13C. That's what it's going on where we just were, Bracken. I had more doctor's appointments, and the day we left, it was like +15. We believe in the global climate crisis. It teaches us that it's a natural process, and we happen to be in a shitty part of a natural process. Yeah, it's... I do believe, obviously if volcanoes and shit go off, it can alter climate and that, but we definitely have gotten to a stage where it's uncomfortable for us and where we've decided to build houses and blah, blah, blah. But, when we got back, it was cold as shit, and it gets dark, and, we had to go walk and feed Carl. Yeah. I'm going to Florida this weekend, and I was hoping it was going to be cold. In Florida? That's pretty neat, though. I hope you're going to go visit some peeps.
Hey, Violetta! Violetta's also had strange weather over in Slovenia.
Yeah, over in Slovenia, where you grab yourself a refreshing herbal drink.
Yeah, yes, a nice
The old kakta. And then, it was cold. We played a little Stardew.
Yeah. We started a new game of Stardew.
I was like, what is that sound? It's the fucking Cocta tractor.
So we've been Stardewing. I've been baking a lot of bread.
Absolutely baking that bread.
I'm sure everyone knows grocery prices have gotten absolutely fucking insane. So... Yeah,
what's grocery prices like where you guys are?
So I like to drink kombucha because it makes my stomach feel good. And I will say the kombucha in town has always been slightly overpriced, but in general, you could usually get it for like high-end expensive price, $5 a bottle, a 414 milliliter bottle, or sometimes like 2 for $6 or something like that. Well, over the course of Christmas, it went from that price to $10.99 a bottle. A 414 milliliter fucking bottle of kombucha for $11.
It's unconscionable.
It is. I can't. What? And what made me even more mad is when we were just in Moose Jaw the last time, I got a fucking
I didn't mean to do that.
I'm sure.
I was gonna put it in mine. I
got a bottle of kombucha for $2 and it just made me so angry.
I'm sorry about that. I didn't plan to do that. I swear. Here, Jinjee can have a little. Let's just keep talking about kombucha. Nothing happened. Jinjee, sit with your little bottle of cocktail. So, yes, kombucha. We have
I was just really upset about the kombucha. So.
We have our own symbiotic culture of bacteria
I'm
and yeast.
starting to grow SCOBY. It's pretty ready to go.
Yeah, it actually looks called the doctor for the cocktail. So it actually looks like it's supposed to. It looks like this fleshy disc. Look at that. That's basically what we did. Kind of close, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty much there.
And this is how you grow a fleshlight. It's a interesting process to watch it. It's like having a child.
Yeah, a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast.
Yes. It's almost as good as some...
So yeah, I enjoy drinking the fluid that it creates because it makes my stomach feel good.
That's a drinking sound. I was drinking it. It's a drink. It's a drink. Also we found out my new favorite thing to say, and it's your mom wears combat boots. So can anybody tell me where your mom wears combat boots comes from? Hopefully Bracken. And we mean it as like a joke, like a your mom joke, not like I like to make fun of people's moms in particular. So it means that basically,
Mom's not dead, so not a clue.
I think it means basically if your mom slept with a soldier or
so
U.S. military.
From what I understand, the phrase comes from during World War II, American GIs paid British prostitutes sometimes with their combat boots.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, it works on so many levels. Your mom wears combat boots.
So,
take that into your day. Use it appropriately. Don't use it on those who you don't think would laugh. But what else? Some Stardew. There was a movie in the 80s called that. No way. Oh, you're right.
That's
plot summary.
When you Googled it, that's what you clicked on.
Well,
that's something they taught in history class. Yeah, I mean.
Well, maybe that teacher wore combat boots. I'm just kidding. Combat boots are expensive nowadays, so it's actually a compliment. Your mom's worth a nice hot pair of Red Wings. What else did we get up to? We were just back in Moose Juice.
Yeah.
We had to buy groceries, some perishables or non-perishables.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where you guys are, but where we are, groceries have become
thusly the kombucha
expensive.
Yeah.
A bag of apples, which used to be like a decent amount of apples, is now it's like $8 for a 6 apples in a bag. And I'm like, America has literally like 1 billion apples in storage.
Oh no, Violetta got a new boss whose handshake is
the dead fish. Like when you went to give her a handshake, you went like this. Like you do the thumb tuck, and it's like, also, Is in Slovenia, is it customary for women to judge each other on the strength of their handshakes? Or wait. Oh, yeah, you did say her.
Also, Saskatchewan teachers are on strike.
Yes.
So that's an exciting
because
development in our province.
Taking care of children is only important when they're in utero.
Oh, Tucker Carlson was in Alberta.
Yeah. I got 6 apples the other day because I'm trying to eat $14.
Alberta parents now have extended rights over their children.
Well, did they pass that thing?
Yes, they did.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. He probably is Canadian.
No.
Steven Crowder is
Steven
Canadian.
Crowder's Canadian.
Fucking Texas governor. No, wait, not governor.
No,
who's Ted Cruz? Isn't he
Cruz,
Texas?
yeah. Ted Cruz was born in Canada.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Alberta.
I'm sorry, you guys. Ted motherfucking Cruz.
Yeah. And then also just observing the states. It's just, and then everything in general going on. The world's just a little bit crazy.
If
so
you
we were like,
sending your garbage down. Yeah, and our geese. Greg Abbott, I think that's his name, the Texas guy who's like, no, you can't tell us not to barb wire children at the border.
Oh my God.
No, we call a soft shake like that. No, we call a soft shake like that. And she gave me a hand like she wanted me to kiss it like this. Enchante! I don't know what they say. Y'all see the rumor that Michelle Obama's going to run for president? I mean, she might as well. I heard The Rock was on a podcast, or I think he was on Joe Rogan, he said people legitimately were trying to get him to run for president. And he's like, if you're asking me, we're all fucked. Because, I'm not a president. You should have licked her hand, Violetta. Yeah, you should have, been spit in it. Abbott's the Ironside governor. Raphael Ted Cruz is the senator from...
We're sorry about him.
Yeah.
We're sorry.
There's a couple of Canadians.
We're also sorry about Steven Crowder.
Did you see what Cass or Curious said he paid for apples? $14. I like apples. I usually have an apple a day it doesn't keep the doctor away. I've been there.
It's nice to have fruit and vegetables though, but it's so expensive to have fruit and vegetables.
We balance either apples or applesauce.
Oh, so when we went to Moose Jaw and we went to do some grocery shopping, we needed some potatoes, and a 10-pound bag of potatoes was $9, and a 20-pound bag was $10. And I was like, well, I don't need 20 pounds of potatoes.
Sure,
but for an extra $1, of course I'm going to get double the amount of potatoes. I just wish I could have bought a 10-pound bag of potatoes for $5. Why is that? Why do they have to do shit like that? It's very upsetting. I don't need or want 20 fucking pounds of potatoes at one time. We are 2 people.
We're going to be making... I would love fruit trees, but, doesn't it take a while?
Yeah, it'll take a while, but we can plant one.
How long does it take for a fruit tree to produce? How long for apple tree
strawberries
to produce
It'll be a few years. My uncle used to have...
not that bad. 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Can we pay you to come tend it?
My grandma used to have
at least 8 hours.
apples. Cran apples? What? I'm
crab apples.
Crab apples. Thank you. Holy
One
shit.
can be.
Crab apples are good because you can make pies and
dwarf apple trees,
applesauce and shit.
Oh, so standard ones are 8 years. So we'll already be hit by Apophis.
Yeah.
Crab apples are 2 to 3 years. Crabapples?
Crabapples.
Apple trees almost always produce apples that taste like shit.
Well, true.
Where does apples come from?
But also, a lot of apples are proprietary. So you're technically, if you buy an apple...
I thought it was just Red Delicious we watched.
Well, no, because there's, a lot of other ones,
that was
too.
the first
That was the first one
apple
that they've done it to. But they've patented all these fucking seeds. So you're, technically not supposed to grow them from the seeds from the fucking plants. Or from the fruit you get. It's stupid.
I know that we have a lot of people with crab apple trees.
Yeah.
I don't know what we have.
My uncle,
Home
he used
Depot.
to have fruit trees in his backyard. He used to actually grow and sell fruit to the co-op in Moose Jaw. Mind you, I think it was stone fruits that he grew in his backyard. So little apricots and shit like that. But some there are some that are zoned for here.
What is this apple tree? A columnar. Columnar trees for
Stone
suburban
fruit.
yards.
No, sorry, like stone fruit. So like apricots, plums.
Oh, weird. Look at these ones.
Things with like a stone pit.
Look at these trees.
Huh.
Look at that shit.
Neat.
Jason, buy me one, Daddy. I'm just kidding. We're going to as well. Veggies are expensive, and Lily basically only ate raw veggies and candy. Yeah, so Bracken, we're lucky. Strawberries. We live in Strawberry Central because of our neighbor.
You mean raspberry?
Oh yeah, sorry, Raspberry Central. But yeah, we
have a gooseberry bush that produces maybe like 4 gooseberries a year.
Fruit.
Not very productive. Our gooseberry bush.
Well, it grew new branches, so
this is true.
It might be alive.
I do think I put it in a really stupid spot though, so that might be part of the reason why it's just like struggled over like the entire time we've owned this property.
I mean, it's our little project.
Yeah. They're very hardy bush.
We have what do you call it too? Growing a little bit rhubarb.
Rhubarb, yes. We will soon have lots of rhubarb because that shit's a weed.
I thought gooseberry was a nickname for their shit food. It's a food.
Yeah, it's an actual berry.
Yeah, it's like a little green.
They're quite tart. So they're really good in jams and pies. But they are good. Like if you get them like when they're nice and ripe, they're really good.
It almost looks like a testicle because you can see the vein
really
lines,
tiny.
the veinies. I got me plums, apples, peaches, cherries, figs, blueberries, blackcurrant, raspberry, strawberry, blackberry. Banned from chat. Do plums grow on trees?
Yeah, they're stone fruit.
I thought they grew on. Oh yeah. I don't think I've ever had a fig. I've only ever had a fig Newton.
I've had like dried figs.
Who likes fig Newtons?
You've never had a dried fig? They're not. I don't like figs.
I don't think I've ever had a date either.
I've never.
Who likes a fig Newton?
I've never particularly been a big fig fan, and then when I found out that like to grow there like has to be a wasp that dies inside of it, I was kind of like utterly icked off figs.
Love them fig newts. We got a lover there in the pars.
And we taught him something new today as well. That gooseberries are a thing.
I love that.
This is what a fig looks like?
Yeah.
You can eat that?
Yeah.
That looks like a hammered ass.
Violetta makes moonshine from plums.
Can't them bitches too sweet. Really? That's what I was about to tell you. We make moonshine from plums. They must have a high sugar content.
I think he was about to tell us because he said be careful eating figs off trees because they do have like wasps inside of them.
Oh, who said wasps?
I said the wasps thing.
Oh, Cass said they're sweet.
I said the wasps thing. Cass said be careful eating figs off trees. And then he's like, that's what I was about to tell you in regards to the wasps.
These look like deer turds.
Yes.
People
Those are
like
dates.
Is this the date palm?
I mean, if you make a date square, they're really good.
Isn't this the tree they resurrected in Jerusalem or something?
No, that's a date palm.
Yeah.
But no, they didn't resurrect the date palm. The date palms like never really truly went away. I don't think went away. It was some other sort of.
This is, I guess, yeah, I've never really had one. It looks very bountiful and easy to collect. I know that in the past I had been on a berry farm that did strawberries and blueberries and all that stuff. And they had this thing you drove it down the center row and the plant or the tree went and the bushes went in the middle and it just had a bunch of batons like you were at a fucking concert and the police were beating everybody. And it beat them into a container and you'd have to keep putting in the containers. It was interesting.
Okay.
The only thing that wasn't interesting is when it like nests of birds started to fall in it. That was a little weird. Cass has seen me testicles. Well, I don't know what you guys do in Curious's Discord, but we do have. Oh wait, in the I forgot to put it as the command. I put it in the link or tagline. The link to the Discord that we use mostly now. The other one has become a sandy desert. Balkan alcohol is on another level. Balkan. What are the Balkans? That's Slovenia?
Yeah.
You should come by sometime.
We did watch a lot of historical stuff. So Evan, we learned a lot about like Carthage and the Roman Empire.
Yes, I now have it. I have a better because I grew up with basic in Catholic school, so I only knew so much about. They only went so deep into things. Yeah. So it was to familiarize myself with how things happened, how civilization became this.
What series were we even watching on YouTube? It sounds weird talking about it because like there's that whole like meme thing about like how often do you think about the Roman Empire? But I don't know. Like I studied history in university, so I just find these things interesting.
My history is like, I mean, I did like, fucking know stuff. I didn't know like the exact sequence of events from, culture to culture or what happened in the not the Greeks, but the Russian side of things in that. We watch a bunch of shit.
We did watch a bunch of shit.
Basically,
I thought all the baby sacrificing interesting.
Yeah. Classic baby sacrifice.
Yeah, some classic baby sacrifice.
Yeah, and other than that, we've just been, we were keeping up with the stuff, like the internet's dramas and such, who is being canceled or not canceled, as it were. He found out how babies made. Feel more strange because I never think about the Roman Empire either. I mean, now I guess because we watched a bunch of stuff, but to think of them as how we watched a thing that they were talking about how males of the newest generation actually respect women less than previous generations. And it's, probably related to this whole, like, the Roman Empire was so fucking awesome. They just do what they want.
Oh, I think it's because we actually watched a lot of stuff deconstructing the Bible. So that's also how we kind of, like, watched a lot of, like, this Roman Empire stuff. Because there's, like, what Trizzle said, it triggered something in my mind about, like, yes, I read that part of the Bible, child sacrifice. Because there's that that one
Control F, how to.
Like, the song, like, by the rivers of Babylon. The actual Bible verse after that goes on to, like, talk about, like, sacrificing your baby by, like, bashing its head against a rock. But they just don't, like, include that bit in the song. So, it is in the Bible.
I mean, there's a lot of things that people selectively. I mean, most of it is just, oh my lordy, it's gone. It's the science man himself.
But we should there was that it was called like Satan's Guide to the Bible or something like that. And it was like a diorama style video. It was really, really well done. It's on YouTube. And it's basically like a deconstructionist explanation of the Bible. It's highly fascinating.
Yeah, I guess like for me, how I grew up wasn't specifically like, I mean, I guess I don't know how Christian it was or Catholic it was because it was as it was. But like we only had one class that was specifically brought up, and it was Christian ethics.
Yeah.
When we did math and science and stuff, they didn't talk about.
Sorry, my leg is like falling asleep. Oh. That's why I was like.
Did we experience some difficulties? Oh, it looks okay. Hopefully it's still there. Thomas Dolby? I don't think that's who it was. Yeah, and so like I guess you don't know until you know how what you learned isn't what they didn't focus on type of thing. Like, I don't know how they just kind of picked and choose what they wanted to put in, and most of them, like, the one thing that blew my mind was I knew not all of them were alive when Jesus was alive, but I didn't realize how many of them had never met
the
Jesus.
fact that, like, none of the authors of the New
I was
Testament
like, none
met
of
Jesus
them?
or were
What?
born during the time of Jesus. They all only, like, had secondhand stories.
Thomas Dolby.
Famous.
Close enough. Maybe he's British. Timus. Oh.
Yeah, he said,
Oh.
Dolby, she blinded me with science.
I thought he was saying that was like a person on YouTube he watches that does like deconstructing the Bible. It's kind of like being hit with a Rick Astley. They were written several generations later. Yeah, I don't know. I just, my mind, I can never go full anything.
Yeah.
Like, I can never say this is the best. I know this to be true, and that is how it is. I'm usually like, yeah, you could, maybe something. Okay. So it's hard for me to go full into things. And then some of the things we watch, like part
of the reason why I like to watch this stuff too is because, like, I'm fueled by a deep anger towards young Earth creationists, and I just, like, I need to feed myself with facts when I, like, for some reason, if I ever find myself in a deep argument with them, I can be like, you are wrong for such and such reasons.
Pars likes the logo. Guess what, Pars? I made it in Google Slides.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, just kind of like this nice bottle of cocktail that Jinjee's got there. I'll probably forget that it's there, and it'll end up being a feature. Speaking of Bible scholars that like debunking shit, yeah, I don't know. I guess you just kind of look at what everyone's in a fervor about today. You know what I mean? Like, it's like there's this half of people, conservatives, just kidding. Like, people are so fervently into Christianity again all of a sudden. Doesn't it seem like that the last, 4 years? Or has it always been this way?
Sorry, Jason said, speaking of Bible scholars that like debunking shit, there's a guy that goes by McClellan that I like a lot.
McClellan?
We'll have to check him out. He's constantly putting on videos debunking stupid shit other people post.
I've always seen it's a series of metaphors, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, how I thought everybody interpreted it, because it was just obviously a bunch of silly stories.
Well,
not silly, but
what really concerns
people
me,
not from Texas.
and not to get political or anything, but right now in the States, how there's a lot of people who think that Trump is the second coming of Christ or some shit.
Yeah, if he's not more likely to be the devil.
Weird religious cult of personality around Trump, and that's highly concerning.
I can't think of that one guy.
Yeah, I mean, we can't help you because it's fucking infiltrating Canada, and there's people here who have the same fucking brainworms. So, I don't know what to tell you. It's happening here too.
I put prosperity preacher. Oh, breacher. Prosperity preacher that looks like the devil. There he is. There he fucking is.
Oh my God, Kenneth Copeland.
They think this guy is holy.
Getting on a tube of demons.
They think this guy's holy. He does look like the Mask too.
He does. Oh my God.
This bro. It's insane. Prosperity. We think to each other all the time Jesus hated money.
Yeah.
He hated, I only learned a few things, and I knew that, scamming money from people wasn't the way to do it.
Yeah. He overturned the tables, for the vendors in, the temple because he didn't, whatever. You know the rest of the Bible story. He turned over the tables for the vendors in the temple because it was bad.
You guys know.
Yeah, you guys know.
Kenneth Copeland is pure evil. He looks like pure evil. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. He's so evil, it parches my throat, and I need a bigger sip of the old, oh, give me that delicious Sorry, I'll get rid of that now. There's a couple of them actually, and it's amazing how they get these mega churches.
Yeah.
And they're like, you need to spread the word of the Lord via Boeing 747s. I think if I was a multi-billionaire, I'd buy a country and help all these same people move there. We could build an infrastructure and have social services.
I know, right?
Yeah, but then it would sink and people would be like, it was Atlantis. All of the smart people would... Yeah, if you take all the rational people and something goes wrong, then it's definitely left with the irrational. I feel like... I don't know. I feel like everybody feels that way. It's like, how were we not paying attention for a really long time and then shit hit the fan?
No.
And like the Mormons have like $100 billion in the bank.
You know what? At this point, I honestly miss Mitt Romney. Like, he's just a normal Mormon dude. Why can't he not be the leader of the Republican Party in the States? Elect Mitt Romney to be the leader of the Republican Party. He's just a normal Mormon man.
A Norman, as it were. Yeah, we had been talking, last 2 weeks or whatever. We should stream.
Yeah.
We want to stream again, and
he's being forced into retirement because he's normal.
Yeah, when his brain starts glitching out, he can be
he can be brought back.
He can be the new Mitch McConnell. I just can't believe you shouldn't have the phrase, I'm running for president and I just passed a dementia evaluation anywhere near each other. You can't, there's so many, I didn't know that every position has term limits except what is it, like the Congress, the Senate has like 30-year terms, or they don't have terms or some shit?
In Canada, Evan, for some of the Senate members, once you're appointed for life.
It's just fucking nuts.
Like, isn't the Governor General kind of like a... Oh, wait, no, is the government... I can't remember how the Governor General goes. Is that just new Prime Minister? Or...
Prime Ministers can constantly be reelected, can't they?
How's it... Can you look this up for me? Because I need to know how the Governor General is appointed. In case
of Canada?
Yeah. For those of you who do not know, Canada has this weird thing called the Governor General, and they are the representative of the used to be Queen, now King, because she dead. Here in Canada, technically they have like veto authority over the Prime Minister.
The monarch, on the advice of his or her Canadian Prime Minister, appoints a Governor General to administer the government of Canada in the name of the monarch.
But like, how often is it done is my question. Is it just like who is this? Is this our incumbent, Mary Simon? Don't know who
since the 26th of July 2021. She receives an annual salary of $3,400 to $342,000.
I'll say that's not a ridiculous amount of money. Like, that's a lot of money. But like, in regards to this grand scheme of
what do you think she really
shit.
Fucking does? We don't do
I don't
British.
know what the Governor General does. I literally have zero fucking
idea.
idea.
The office began in the 17th century when the French crown appointed governors of the colony of Canada. Following the British conquest of the colony, the British monarch appointed governors of the province of Quebec, later the Canadas. And
this
from
is all
1763
just like
onward,
symbolic nonsense bullshit.
The office, along with the crown, and the oldest continual institutions of Canada. The British North American Act of 1867 defines them as carrying on the government of Canada on behalf and in the name of the Queen, by whatever title he is designated.
It should say change to Queen, because Queen's dead.
The Governor General is generally a governor.
Of what? It says the day-to-day duties of the monarch are carried out by the Governor General. What's the day-to-day duties of the fucking monarch in Canada? Please answer me that. I need to know.
As a matter of law, the Governor General is not in the same constitutional position as the sovereign. The office itself does not independently possess any powers of the royal prerogative.
So it just seems like it's on the recommendation of the Canadian Prime Minister.
Oh, it's so they can, like, have their sticky fingers in it. Like, no, I own part of that company. Give them the contract. Interesting. Canadian monarchical history sovereigns of Canada and their consorts. That sounds weird, doesn't it?
That's one of those political positions that I really, truly don't understand.
Do they dress funny?
No, I don't think so. I think they just dress in a nice suit.
Why
There's that one lady, if you scroll up a little bit, scroll up. Oh, wait, that's Michelle Jean. I remember her.
Michelle Jean.
I remember her being the Governor General.
This Michelle Jean. I don't remember.
They're usually people who are quite distinguished within, like, Canadian society in regards to their accomplishments.
Yeah, like, we have weird shit. Don't get us wrong. What was, like, we have the Speaker of the House, too, right? The House of Commons.
Yeah, but the Speaker of the House doesn't, like, have the...
Yeah, he's not like a chess piece to be moved
around. Not at all,
around.
like in the States. It's not at all.
I think
like,
he just yells like, "Pardon me" or something.
Yeah, like, you guys are being loud. Keep it calm. Keep it calm. This side first, then
Don't
you may rebuttal.
Stop being a hoser over there. So, yeah.
He just basically, I think, controls the conversation. He doesn't, like, you know, have the power that the American one seems to have.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's strange. The one thing is that you should remember, if you're old, is that you aren't the one shaping the world anymore. So think about what's best for the people coming up.
You're going to die soon, so think less about your interests because you'll be dead.
Think of it this way. If you want people to take care of you in a caring manner when you're excessively old or in the hospital or whatever,
treat
or
the younger
infirm,
generation with empathy.
Don't be a fucking dickhead. Give them lunches at school
need,
that contain vitamins,
spaces for
minerals.
Children to play so they don't have to hang out in Sephora.
Yes, and no more Stanley mugs.
Fuck with the Stanley mugs.
You don't need 40 ounces of water in walking around all the time in a straw that you probably don't clean properly that houses botulism.
Oh, and apparently they have lead in them too, so that's kind of funny. A little bit funny. It's a little bit funny.
Pars, if you buy your kid a Stanley mug... What?
We have a Stanley.
You did mention this, but I never actually looked it up. Stanley Cup Maker says products contain some
Violet,
lead.
what the fuck is a Stanley mug? Maybe this is just a North American thing.
Consumerism has reached a peak.
Yeah.
And children want
these Stanley mugs.
This is what they want for Christmas.
Yeah.
They don't want PS5s anymore.
A fucking thermal mug that holds 40 ounces of liquid.
Yeah. And then chances
Stanley is a brand. It's been around since like fucking World War One.
It's older than that.
Yeah,
I think.
it's been mainly targeted towards men at like work sites, but now like
it was
the
like
person who like turned Crocs into like what Crocs are has become like the CEO for Stanley, and he's accessorized Stanley mugs. And now, like all the basic nurses, like the basic bitch nurses that wear wear Uggs. And like
Tamagotchi
are walking around with their Stanley mugs and their Uggs and their fancy scrubs.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They have children have to get like different backpacks to have like a holder for it. It doesn't fit in cup holders. It leaks when it's fucking crazy. These were the original Stanleys.
Well, that's I like those.
This one's pretty
baller.
Oh,
and they leak. Because, like, the straw is constantly exposed, and so there's no way to close it. So if you, like, it gets turned on its side, it leaks.
Jason's a basic bitch. Yeah. Didn't you see, like, those people, like, fighting for them?
We also have a Stanley, but ours is, like, old AF. We like our Stanley, but ours is, like, like an old, like, army green one with, like, it doesn't have a straw.
Yeah, it was this dude.
Oh yeah, like somebody stole a box.
I know somebody, like the joke is that nobody would lift a finger to help somebody, right? Like today's day and age. And I know someone who is in the States for their kids hockey tournament, and
Oh, the video's not available.
he had to use the AED machine on someone having a heart attack in the States because no one else around this man would help. And this dude steals a bunch of fucking coffee mugs at Starbucks and gets tackled by like 12 people. It's like,
oh yeah, people were like lined up for the there was a special Valentine's release, and the only difference is it's a special shade of pink and it has a little heart on it instead of like a period at the end of the word Stanley.
oh, it's gone now. Either way, here's this man's ass hanging out of his pants.
Peak consumerism, and it causes me a deep level of despair.
It's a whole... Okay, we went down a Stanley rabbit hole, I guess. But yeah, there's a shitload of like young kids crying at Christmas because their parents got them a Yeti. What about Corksicle?
I like our Corksicle.
We have a Corksicle cup.
Yeah. I don't know.
People take the opportunity to beat somebody up, be called a hero when it's Healy. Yeah, well, the thing is everyone can sue each other for everything. I couldn't believe that they tackled this man to stop him when I'm pretty sure, like, security's told, like, you know, it's not worth your life, don't fuck around, get the evidence type thing. This guy tried to football ram through them, and it was like a pile-on. It was crazy. But... yeah, this says that there are traces of lead within the product, but it's not present on the surfaces.
Apparently it's like sealed in the mug, and it said that like a lot of thermal insulated mugs do have some lead in that kind of like
the sealing material includes some lead, and once the area is sealed, it's covered with a durable stainless steel layer, making it inaccessible to consumers.
But also the question is, why are they using lead?
Honestly, the chances are, even if they're not exposed to this lead, they're using like Flint, Michigan water from the tap.
Like, maybe, I don't know, does lead have some sort of like cooling conductive property? Or is it just like a cheap
it has to be
material that they can put right there instead of something else?
According to the children are particularly more vulnerable to the health impacts of lead, according to the Canadian Pediatric Society. Score! Take away their fruit and give them lead-laden water bottles.
Oh, another parallel to Roman society.
Lead
where
drinking water.
They were drinking water with lead in it because their pipes are made out of lead.
And they all went crazy.
Weird. So
People
weird.
will take that. I'm pretty sure it's just because lead is common and cheap. Yeah, it's interesting. Lead is why boomers are stupid. Honest to God, I guarantee they all still drink tap water, and they all have like fucking potassium bromanganate in their bloodstream or some shit that causes insanity. Because it's like, at least we should all be able to like find a common ground, but like it's gone to a point where it's like, children are trying to break into my state. Why can't I murder them? It's like, what?
I will say though, Jason, we are probably full of microplastics though.
Oh yeah, I read something the other day that in a week we inhale a credit card's worth of microplastics.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
Whatever.
That's normal.
Get your Neuralink. Sign up for your Neuralink.
Yes, yeah.
They did the first installation in the old brain. And it connects to an iPhone, which is awesome. I think it's probably Bluetooth too. The same fucking, like, what is it, Bluetooth 3.0? Yeah, we do have the microplastics. And everybody, I believe everybody on Earth has Teflon in their blood.
Probably.
I think that's what, because the original, like, the coatings that scrape off are forever chemicals. So, I mean, we are evolving. We are becoming another species as a twat. I wish I could use some of those microplastics to be like, to go in between my joints as like cartilage.
Just like kind of direct it and be like...
if I inject garbage into my knuckles, well...
probably not.
Well, you guys, we wanted to just come on touch base. We didn't. We just wanted
weren't
to.
planning on a long stream today because it's been obviously like over a month. So
we just wanted to let you know what we've been up to.
Carl threw us in a tizzy, and then we just kind of were. I want to say lazy, but we weren't lazy. We were doing things.
It's true.
Yeah.
We got some cocktail, bottle of cocktail, if you're thirsty. But it's really nice to see everybody. Thank you so much for coming to hang out. It's supposed to be kind of nice here today.
Yeah.
We're gonna enjoy the day. I'll probably have a nap, as I usually do, when the pills wear off. I'm sure I got something in my blood from eating Play-Doh as a kid. Honestly, Play-Doh is probably it was probably fine when we were kids. It's like made out of like cornstarch and schlism. I'm just kidding.
My mom used to make a homemade Play-Doh recipe for me, and I always had homemade Play-Doh. It's made out of like flour and salt and cream of tartar, and you kneaded it together like a dough and put food coloring in it. It was always fun.
You can eat
I ate it.
cookie dough now.
It did not taste great. It was very salty tasting.
I think they make most cookie dough is edible now.
Yeah. Yeah, most cookie dough. Yeah.
Raw.
Yeah.
Who are you? Philip Torkington! We're just leaving.
We were about to leave.
We're just leaving. We will obviously allow you to get a famous floppage. I've eaten so much worse than Play-Doh. We've all been there. We've all been to Burger King before it's gone. Oh, I missed you too there, Mr. Lev. So sorry that we're taking off. We will be back. I would say to normal, but we'll see how it goes tomorrow. I'm sure it's fine. Krissy was up at like god awfully early today.
5:30
a.m.
I don't know.
In the a.m.
Yeah.
But it's because the sun is, starting to come back from its 10 p.m. rise to 10 a.m. rise time.
See, here's the thing. I do really like the depths of winter when the sun doesn't rise till like 9:30. There's something about it that I really enjoy. And when the sun starts to get out earlier and earlier, I feel like I'm missing that darkness. Like I guess maybe it's because like I feel like I'm getting a lot of stuff done before the day actually starts because it's dark out, right? And so with it getting like brighter out earlier, my mind slightly wants to compensate for that by getting up like subsequently earlier and earlier.
The darkness.
I enjoy operating.
Tube full of demons. Tube full of demons. Okay, everybody. Much love to you. Thank you for coming in. Krissy, the Queen of the Damned.
Thank you. Hey, I loved that movie.
Wasn't that with like Aaliyah or...
It was with Aaliyah. Yeah, it came out posthumously.
And that other creepy movie
Stuart
had
Townsend.
Jennifer Lopez, The Cell.
Yeah, that's a
All
different
pop
movie.
actresses were in a movie at some point. Lev 2. Good to see y'all. Take care.
That movie is actually what got me into Anne Rice.
Anne Rice?
As like a youth, as a young child, I went and saw that movie in theater, and I was like, "Ooh, vampire shit!" And then like 13-year-old Krissy just got really into vampire shit.
Oh, big Jinjee yawn. How do his gums look? Love you. Love you, Kiki. They said love you. It's a good place to leave. Jinjee said bye-bye. Wake up for the end. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.